My name is Cynthia Gutie. I'm a visual artist from Guadalajara, Mexico. I was born in 1978. I studied at the University of Guadalajara, visual arts with a sculpture orientation. And also my father is a sculptor, so I had access to many materials when I was growing up, but it also conditioned me in a way of how I knew a sculpture goes on a pedestal and what types of materials should a sculpture be, that is sort of something that has been in mind since then, and so I've been trying to move the sculpture from the pedestal or fixed and heavy objects, to move them, to break them in a way. There was always tension between like very fixed and heavy official history and other stories that are more subtle or other materials. So there's a certain lightness or subtleness in my work that contrasts with very heavy objects, not only materially but also conceptually. In this case, this work is called No pertenecemos a la misma tierra. We don't belong to the same earth. And these are water vessels made in the barro canelo technique. I didn't do these with my hands. These are produced by artisans in Tonalá. These in particular by Jose Isabel Pajarito Fajardo. And this is a pre-Hispanic technique, but that has merged with other influences, and we can't really track down, but the type of decorations and have been evolving and changing. But this particular vein of earth that they use is sort of reddish, and well, cement and the city is growing, so it's being harder to, or they have to go further to find these veins of clay where they get the pigment from to decorate these vessels. And these are vessels that I remember from my grandmother's house. The water stays really fresh and has a very special flavor for being in that vessel, and it's just something that you would find at a home in Guadalajara. In this case, the pedestal or the plinth, normally used in museums to show, to present, to support an object or a sculpture, in this case becomes the sculpture itself and is being balanced by the water vessel, which is placed upside down. And so the very white and the geometrical and cleanness of the pedestal, very sharp lines, they contrast with the handmade and the print of the hand on the vessel. But so they're in dialogue and in contrast at the same time. My father has done public figures and monuments, so I have that, and the pedestal is there. And then he was born in Tlaquepaque, where there were many artisans, so I grew up with the appreciation of handmade objects and the process involved in these types of things, and I really appreciate it. And these two different ways that shouldn't be. I'm also interested in how craftswork and artworks are not in the same place, and that is something that is always in mind. When I visit the workshop of an artisan, I perceive time is running in a different way, and the connection with the material, with the earth itself, I think it gives them a different perspective of how to inhabit, earth or our world. And I think we are in a different pace, and we're running towards collapse. And it's important to turn to these other ways of relating to the world and to the other. And I find that in small workshops. And I think it's important. Yeah. I don't think there should be a line dividing them, but there's very different conceptions, or it has to do with how we confront our reality. So I like where these concepts merge, because it's a strange place, no, where many things can happen. So I like just mixing this and blending them and raising questions about that, and how a museum space can show or present objects as valuable, but also have them presented away from their context. And so that is something that I'm interested in. And also the way the image of a place can be exported. And sometimes it feels alien in a way. And it also, I mean, with these objects made with earth, or which is like the first element which man used to build something, I think we can talk also about territory. And that's where the title comes from. So we can inhabit the same world and at the same time be worlds apart. So that's something I'm interested in as well, through these objects made with clay. And also the influences and the techniques and how they evolve, the different timings in the process, and the geological time as well, like parallel lines that are just evolving in a way. Yes, but I think with my work, what I try to, or I intend to raise questions more to give answers, and to put things together that can sort of change the perspective of things. Well, I think Guadalajara is a special place, and the art scene is very particular. I think that there are many, I mean, you can feel things are happening. There are many artists, but there's also few spaces to show the work. Yeah. It's also, the museums don't have a collection. So I think that many things happen in the artist studios or in collaborative projects. Yeah. Like I remember in 2005, with other 5 colleagues, we started an artist-run space. Like it was a very small room that we rented and invited other artists to just make a small project in there, and it was like just a collective almost. Yes, and it was just interesting how we would talk about things, and then other projects would emerge from there. Yes, I just think it's a very you can just work on so many possibilities. There's so many workshops, there's so many things to see, to do. You just can start working, on anything. I hope that visitors leave with many questions regarding art itself, regarding how we live or inhabit this world and relate to others.